that involve gender identities. This happens in several ways. Girls and boys are treated differently by their parents, dressed in different clothes, and given different toys to play with, and so on. Oakley suggests 4 main ways in which children are socialized into gender roles. 1. By manipulation. For example, by stressing the importance of appearance for girls and of being brave or strong for boys. So one way in which gender is being constructed in the society is through manipulation, where the girl will be reminded every now and then that this is how she should be dressed, and the guy will be reminded every now and then that this is how it should look. So this is manipulation. So you give different toys to different gender. This is still part of manipulation. Then we have canalization, which is channeling children's time and attention onto different activities, such as the girls helping their mom in the kitchen and the boys, having time to play football or sports. That's what canalization is. That means the activity they do. Yeah. So you shape them based on what they have been exposed to. That is canalization. Manipulation is giving them different things to make them feel like a man or a woman. Then we have the verbal appellation. For verbal appellation, what children sees their parents, how children are spoken to, the way you speak to a girl, different from the way you speak to a guy, being harsh on girls or on boys, and being slow or emotional with girls. So that is verbal appellation. Then by different activities, what children see their parents and others doing leads to idea about what is appropriate for each gender. For example, that cooking and cleaning are for women. So, and also it could be by different activities. So the gender can be shaped based on what you see your mom doing and what he sees his dad doing. So, my dad does this, so I'll continue to do what my dad does. And every now and then I wake up and I see my mom, this is what she does. So I continue to do what my mom does.
Yeah, also here it says for telling a girl she's pretty, which is like different from a guy.
Handsome, for a girl it's pretty. So these are part of appellation too. Yeah. I think it's clear. Yeah. So according to Oakley, there are 3 main forms of feminine identity in contemporary societies. So let's see if we can talk about them anyway. Contingent feminities, which are framed and shaped by male beliefs, behaviors, and demands. Normalized identities. For example, involve women learning to play a secondary role to men as mothers, girlfriends, partners, and the likes. Chambers argue that such identity continually struggle with the problem of producing a femininity that will secure male approval. So for the contingent femininity, when talking about contingent, it's talking about what the needs are in the society. So the first one is normalized identity, which talks about the reliance of women on men. That, it's a woman and this is what she needs to do. She needs to be submissive, she needs to be that, she needs to be this. Then we have the genderalized identities, which are made through male eyes and fantasies. In these types of identity, women are objects that exist for male gratification. So here, we're talking about the need for women. That's the point they're making there. I think it's clear. So we move on to the second one, which is assertive. Assertive identities reflect the changing position of women in many societies. They involve women breaking free from traditional ideas about femininity, but not completely setting themselves apart from men. For Forum, in 2005, suggests that assertive feminists are adopted to resist male power without actually threatening to overthrow such power. Then, for assertive identity, here, women try to reprise or try to become what they are supposed to be. They want to become free to have a life for themselves too. But they are not doing that to overthrow women or men, but they are doing it because they felt they still have things to offer to the society, which without having that freedom to do it, they will be deprived of it. So that is assertive. You get assertive identities here. So we have different types of assertive identity, which includes girl power. According to Olos, suggests that this emphasizes gender as fun and the importance of female friendship. This identity represents a way of coping with masculinity, but other women are excluded from this identity. So here, the girl power, which makes you to be among guys at any point in time, and because it's a woman, the feeling becomes different when the woman or the lady is part of the group where men are. So it changes the feeling, and maybe men become like, we just have to compose ourselves here. So the girl power changes the attitude of men. The girl's presence changes the attitude of men. That's the girl power. I think it's clear. Yeah. Then the modernized feminities that relate to a slightly older age group. dislocate newfound female economic and cultural power within the context of family relationships. The assertive aspect here is a desire for personal freedom and expression, what McRobbie termed individualism, liberty, and the entitlement for gender self-expression within the context of traditional gender relationships. So for the modernized feminities, here it relates to the power a woman has in terms of what she brings to the family. So here it's different from the other one. The first one we talked about is girl power, which is always aligned to young ladies. But here we're talking about slightly older people, like mothers and grown-up adults, like that are working, that are middle class. So they have that power too. They have responsibilities that makes men to like look up to them and allow them the freedom they want. Then we have the aging feminities, which assert the right of elderly women to be fashionable, active, and gender beings. So here for aging feminities, we are talking about the grown-up. They are adult, they are old women. They have experience. They have seen everything in life. So you can't question anything they do. So that is aging feminities. I think it's clear. And the last one is autonomous femininity, which involves competition with men on female terms. For example, points to a female individualism as part of a new gender regime that frees women from traditional constraints such as pregnancy and childcare. Autonomous women are likely to be highly educated, successful, professional, middle-class person, and career-focused. So for the autonomous feminities, here we're talking about women that can decide, that can make decisions themselves without the need for men. So these kind of people are those that are highly educated. They are in high position in the society because of their skills, their intellectual. They are successful women. They can also be lawyers, doctors. They have a professional life, and they can be career-focused person. What?
They don't need to rely.
They don't rely on men, so they have autonomy. They can make their own decisions without any interference from men. So those are the classes of women we have. So we have the first one, which is not the assertive. We have the contingent. We have the assertive. The contingents are the need for men. Then we have the assertive, which have power, too, maybe because of their age. Maybe the girl power. We have those one we are modernized. We have the aging one. Then we have the autonomous femininity. And what else do we have? I think that's all about gender. That's all about gender. Okay. So let me see what we need to know more about gender. And for female, we have canalization, manipulation, we have verbal appellation, and we have different activities, which is linked to what you see your mom doing or what I see my dad doing. Then for the male ones, we have hegemonic. For the males one, we have hegemonic, we have emphasized femininity. No, hegemonic, no, we have marginalized, sorry. We have marginalized, we have the subversive, and the complicit masculinity. So that ends gender identity.